How to accomplish TRF for teachers 1 to 3 under prompt number 1. Let's proceed first to the KRA3, Diversity of Learners, Curriculum and Planning and Assessment and Reporting. Under this is Objective 9. Designed, adapted, and implemented teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents. So take note, learners with disability, giftedness, and talents is operationally defined as persons who are gifted or talented and those who have physical, mental, social, or sensory impairment. These persons may be gifted or talented as a fast learner, mentally retarded, visually impaired, hearing impaired with behavioral problems, orthopedically handicapped with special health problems, learning disabled, speech impairment, and multiple handicap. That is under Dep Ed Order number 117, series of 1987. When we say disability, it shall mean a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more psychological, physiological, or anatomical function of an individual or activities such as individual. Students with gifts and talents perform or have capability to perform at higher level compared to others of the same age, experience, and environment in our more domains. So now, teachers, kung meron kayo na-encounter sa klase nyo na merong learning disability or giftedness or even talents, you can use set A. But then, kung wala naman, you will use set B. Under this, we have two sets na magagamit natin. You can choose set A. This is classroom observation tool or rating sheet or inter-observer agreement form. It can be done an observation of synchronous teaching or limited face-to-face teaching, online teaching, or two-way radio instruction. If option 1 is not possible, an observation of a recorded video lesson or audio lesson. Or option 1 and 2 are not possible, you can use an observation of demonstration teaching via LAC. This is the teacher reflection form on designing, adapting, or implementing teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents, and, take note, a certification from the school head that the rated classes have no identified learners with disabilities, giftedness, or talent. So, gagamitin natin teachers ang TRF kung wala sa klase natin ang mayroong disabilities, mayroong gifted, or talent. So, doon tayo gagamit ng set B. Before we proceed sa TRF, let's proceed first sa rubrics. Ano na ba yung mga rubrics na gagamitin natin for teachers 1 to 3 kapag ginamit natin yung TRF? So, paano ba tayo magkakaroon ng outstanding? If the reflection, annotation, or outputs exceed the expectation. For VS, exceed the expectations of the TRF. So, anong pinagkaiba ng outstanding sa VS? So, pareho silang exceed expectation. Yung isa, complete with depth knowledge. Yung isa, they are only complete and show comprehensive. Yung 5, in-depth knowledge about the topic. Now, 3, for satisfactory, meet the expectations. For unsatisfactory, partially meet the expectation. And for poor or 1, do not meet the expectations of the TRF prompt. Let's go now to the TRF. Paano nga ba natin itong i-accomplish? So, we have here teacher. So, pangalan ng teacher, the rater, date of submission, the subject, and grade level. Take note, teachers, the direction here is to reflect on your attainment of the RPMS objective by answering the questions or prompts provided. Use any local or official language that you are comfortable with. Kung Tagalog, Tagalog. Kung English, English. Mas express natin kung ano talaga ang official language na ginagamit mo. Use extra sheets if needed. Please limit your response to 500 words. So we have here the objective 9. Take note, design, adapted, and implemented teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talent. So, under prompt number 1, ito lang po ay sample ng context. So, yung reflection nyo will be based on the sample. So, paano natin to gagawin? Wala nga ako na-encounter na disability ng learner ko. So, what if? Ang tanong dyan this is the guide. What will you do if you encountered this example, this situation? So, how will you handle this situation once you encountered it sa inyong klase? So, what strategies are you going to give? Siyempre, iba yung approach natin sa merong mga learning disabilities, yung mga gifted, at saka yung may mga talent. So, siyempre, magkakaiba yan. Yung activity sheets mo ay different from them. Yung approach mo ay iba sa regular students. So, example dito, under prompt number 1, Clara is often seen restless or unfocused in class. She also has troubles following instructions and skips at activities when left unsupervised. So, the action taken here, you had a conference with her parents and found out from them that Clara was diagnosed with learning disability. Now, how will you modify the instruction for Clara to keep her focus on classroom activities? Write your reflection in this form. Mention in your reflection a specific learning disability that you are familiar with or have research on. Okay, so this is my example. All students needed love, encouragement, and support. And positive reinforcement can help learners with learning disabilities emerge with a strong sense of self-worth, confidence, and determination to persevere even when things are difficult. When trying to find ways to assist learners with learning disabilities, keep in mind that you are looking for ways to assist them in helping themselves. As a teacher, once we encounter those learners with a disability, we need to do different strategies to address them. It's not to cure learners' disabilities, but to provide them with the social and emotional tools they need to overcome obstacles. Overcoming a challenge like learning disability can help the learners grow stronger and more resilient in the long run. Pinili ko dito a student with reading disability. It can have a struggle with decoding unfamiliar words, understanding what is read, knowing the meaning of words read, maintaining an efficient reading rate, following written directions, and identifying key ideas and major details. The teacher needs to encourage students to reread. So these are my strategies. The teacher needs to encourage students to reread the chapter before reading it for the first time. Make headings into questions by having students use words like what, why, and how. After that, the students should read to find the correct answers to those questions. The students should underline the answers to questions posed by headings. Students may benefit from using different colored highlighters for main ideas, key details, and definitions. We need to encourage students to create reasonable and logical points within the text where they can stop and check their comprehension. The student may wish to summarize what has just been read using these checkpoints, perhaps into the tape recorder so that the summary may be used as a review later. We need also to encourage them to read actively rather than passively. So the student should practice talking to himself or herself and should ask the following question: what am I doing reading this? If the material or book appears to be practically difficult, have the student read aloud, or rewrite it. Instruct the students to jot down key phrases, main ideas, or definitions in the text margins. If the student is unfamiliar with the subject, have him or she look it up in a reference and has an overview. Show students how to use an index card to guide trying to read if words appear to move around in the context or in the text. We need to encourage them to make index cards with specialized vocabulary words for easier review. And for each chapter, provide guide notes. The notes should include a summary of the main points as well as key terms listed in the chronological order. Alternatively, teach the student how to use the chapter summary so that he or she can do this for himself or herself.